Hello collective and welcome back. Beautiful day, so we have to do it outside, completely raw because it's Sunday and we don't care. Got a new deck, Guardian of the Night Tarot. Super interested as to what the message for the collective is going to be, but as soon as I picked it up, there was like this question stirring in my head, in a sense of like, I feel like you guys want to know what is specifically gone with that one person that you've been trying to figure out. The Emperor is coming out. Wow. Okay, let me just get more, because one of the instant feelings that I get is that when it comes to that person on your mind and having the Emperor coming out first, normally it can mean somebody, getting their shit together and stepping up their game. But I feel with this energy, since it's coming out first as well, yeah, and there's the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel they do still got a lot of work to do. And Emperor's energy, coming back to it as well, can be a little bit proud, a little bit selfish. So I feel with this, like, what they kind of have to sort of really work on right now, or they might be subconsciously or unconsciously working on, is themselves. Like, this is all like, they all about themselves at the moment. That's why maybe you feel, a lot of you in this collective feels that they haven't got room for you. Hold on, because I've got two cards landing on the floor. One of them I can see is Four of Cups. There's a Page of Pentacles. Four of Cups with Three of Pentacles. So yeah, coming back to this work that they still have to do. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. So this is like somebody that is at the beginning of their journey, and maybe they only just coming around to like some sort of self-realizations and that work as well. And I think with this Three of Pentacles, they might be only just coming out of this self-respect, self-reflection period, and they may be only just getting ready to join forces with other people. Yeah, there's Four of Cups. So you're dealing with a person here who maybe tends to push away everybody or anything good as well, maybe out of their own feeling of unworthiness or insecurity as well comes through with this energy. Okay, anything else in regards to this person? And then I'm gonna pull a few cards on what should you do with this situation. Five of Cups. Oh my god, they're like really in a shitty place emotionally. Yeah, Strength is coming out as well with this Five of Cups. Absolutely love this deck, by the way. Yeah, Five of Cups with this Strength. So it feels like, yeah, they do mop around a lot and they're feeling sorry for themselves a lot. That's why this Emperor and this Eight of Pentacles at the beginning. This is all up, they all about themselves in the moment. They may be drowning in this self-pity party, where in fact, like, all they have to do really is like, join forces and start talking to other people to come out of this shell. Yeah, there's a star on the bottom as well. So it feels like there is hope for them, I want to say, in a sense of overcoming this darkness that they might be finding themselves in. Right, one last card in regards to the person, and then we're going to do pull you in the sense of what shall you do with them. Yeah, the start is definitely coming out. So I feel like, they're healing at the moment, like, they're still in the process of this healing. Yeah, there's Ten of Swords on the bottom with the Moon. So it feels like, oh god, yeah, they're going through this, and there's death. Wow. Okay, so they going through a major transformation. That's why at the moment, they are withdrawing into their own space, and they might not feel like they are ready to come forward to talk, because I feel like, yeah, there's this stage at the moment where they still don't know who the fuck they are. And when you don't know who you are, then that's why you can't really meet another person, you can't really open yourself up to another person. Right, okay, let me get you some some cards in regards to what shall you do in this time, whether it's time for you to kind of like just let them be, get on with your life, because I feel that's exactly the energy. I feel like some of you in this collective have been waiting for some time for something to happen. You have like your high hopes and wishes. You're looking at that star again for something to happen within this connection. But there's a Nine of Cups and having this peacock's energy around it. So I feel like in this time, the best thing you can do as well is invest all of that energy and all that love into yourself. Yeah, there's Eight of Swords on the bottom. Because it feels like, you're dealing with somebody who is in a heavy mental prison, and it feels like there's not a thing that you can do apart from like, focusing on yourself and growing yourself, making sure yourself that you're happy. Yeah, this Eight of Swords is definitely coming out. There's a Six of Wands on the bottom as well. So yeah, I feel like this speaks of you focusing your energy on your own success, because I feel like, you've overspent and overgiven a lot of hopes, a lot of wishes, a lot of waiting for this person. But yeah, like, with the Six of Wands, like, it's time to for you to concentrate this energy on yourself and time to focus on your own success. Here, there's a Seven of Pentacles on the bottom as well. So this speaks as well of, you know, don't underestimate the seeds that you planted. But like I said, coming back to this Emperor that we pulled out first, so you're dealing with somebody who is incredibly proud and somebody who is not going to admit, even in any way, like, you know, this is like an energy of somebody that needs to arrive to their own conclusion by themselves. Otherwise, they will never feel successful. They will never feel like they've done it. Yeah, as I'm saying, there's a King of Wands on the bottom. So yet again, this speaks of somebody who needs to do certain work by themselves. There's a Six of Swords that just landed on the floor as well, which I feel speaks of the need for you to go your own way. Yeah, there's this King of Wands as well. So go your own way, like, you know, focus on your path, focus your energy on yourself at this stage and what makes you happy, what drives you. Like, you know, this is like, it feels that, you know, amount of this energy. Yeah, there's a Seven of Wands as well on the bottom. So amount of energy you spend on waiting, on trying to figure it out, or maybe even extending that olive branch or extending that hand to them, but it feels like, you know, you didn't get anything back in return. So obviously with the Six of Swords, it feels that, you know, in this King of Wands, it's time for you to kind of, yeah, think about yourself as well. Like, you know, with this Lion here, think about yourself, think about your own powers that you've got, because, you know, by despairing, by focusing on the person that you might be missing, you know, you're creating a void in your own life, you know, and life happens now, like I always say. Yeah, the Seven of Wands. So I feel like, you know, at this stage you need to really protect your energy. Yeah, there's a Tower on the bottom. I feel it's time to, for a lot of you, it's time to let go of holding on to something that wasn't coming in for a long time for you. Oh my God, hold on, guys. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. So this is like this limbo, this decision making. Like, you know, you might have even been left in a limbo by this person without any explanation. Like, you know, they might be just pulling you in and pushing you away, something like that. There's like a big push and pull, and yeah, there's this Tower coming out. So I feel like, you know, you have a decision to make in terms of just like letting it go for good, letting it go for good. What else? Yeah, the Empress. Because yeah, like, you know, they coming out as the Emperor, and like I said, they have this own shit to deal with, and you also, as the Empress, you've got your own stuff to deal with. You've got your own garden to water. You can't keep overspending your energy. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. Focus on yourself, focus on your own growth. Five of Pentacles. I feel like, you know, this energy and this person has left you deprived, like, you know, energetically, maybe even lost sense of self, a sense of your own value in this, because, you know, there's this feeling of like, you know, oh, they don't want you, or they don't want to communicate with you. That means you must have done something wrong, and there must be something wrong with you. And I feel this is quite the opposite. I feel like, you know, you grew so much, you learned your lessons, like, you know, you've never kind of shied away from any difficulties in your life. Like, you know, you looking at that King of Wands, you kind of take them straight head on. Like, you know, you deal with your stuff and you turn it into peace and contentment, like with this Empress in here. Like, you know, your reality is the way you've overcame everything. And I feel like, you know, maybe that's why you've got this empathy, and maybe that's why you've got this patience for this person. But it feels like, you know, the more you sort of find excuses for them, what's coming through as well, the more you actually stall in their progress. Like, you know, I feel like, you know, your job for a lot of you in my collective is to let go of this one person that you've been holding on to so dearly, and you're looking at this Emperor. Let them sort out their own stuff. If they're meant to be in your life, they will find a way back into your life. You don't need to do anything. Like, you know, you sit comfortably on your own throne, focus on your own reality and your own happiness. Do something for yourself in that time, rather than just despairing. Yeah, there's Ace of Cups on the bottom as well. So I feel like, you know, a lot of you, in parts, there might be some spark, like, you know, and something coming back around in regards to this specific connection. But for a lot of other part of you, I feel like with this Ace of Cups, you have possibility. There is something opening up for you in the terms of romance, in the terms of love. And I feel that, you know, some of you, and that's why if this message is finding you especially, yeah, there's a Hanged Man as well on the bottom. So it feels that the current connection, or something that you've been holding on to, might have been stopping you from exploring other options, from exploring other things in life that could lead to this emotional fulfillment. Like, you know, it feels like you, like I said, might have been waiting. You're looking at this Pentacles energy, might have been waiting for something here, for some sort of communication that is not coming through yet in the Hanged Man as well. So I feel like in a big sense, like, you know, it also gave you a perspective on yourself and on re-evaluation of your own worth, because I feel like, you know, for you, it also has been a big test. This person showed up in your life as a big test. And for some of you, this might been everything that it was a test to help you change that perspective, to help you gain new vision in life. Yeah, there's a Two of Swords as well, but it feels like some of you like are in part very ready to move on, very ready to let this go, but some other part of you, like, you know, is still like, you know, wishing washing. You're looking at that star and hoping for this old flame, this old connection to come through. But yeah, there's a Chariot with this Two of Swords, but I feel like, you know, it's time for a lot of you to move on with your life, because if it's meant for you, it will find you. Yeah, Judgment. It's time to, like, a wake-up call. It's time to release something here, and I feel it has a lot to do with this person and this connection. Yeah, Judgment and Chariot. So it's time to go your own way, and it's time to kind of release something here, something that has been stalling your own progress. And there's a lot of snake images here on these cards, so I feel it has a lot to do maybe with something unclear, or something that has been nothing but confusing. Yeah, I'm noticing 8 of Wands as well on the bottom. So I feel when you make that concrete decision in your mind, that you're not holding on to anything that is not coming in for you, you stop forcing results. Like, you know, you trust in the process, you trust in the universe that is delivering always what you want and what you need. Well, probably not always what you want, but definitely always what you need, if you know what I mean. So, and I feel, yeah, it's time for you to, yeah, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. So this is like, you know, new gained clarity. So a lot of you is gaining some sort of clarity in terms of, like, you know, you no longer want to be breadcrumbed. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit. So I feel with this one, like, you know, in terms of your lonely path, in terms of your soul searching, like, you know, you've done a big good work. Yeah, there's Four of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and this Queen of Cups. So yet again, coming back to you protecting your own energy in this time, and you pardon me, pouring into your own cup first, and yeah, and leading with clarity, leading with like understanding of what is happening around you, instead of just like being maybe stubborn, or maybe like, you know, just wanting something, like, you know, and not letting go of it. Because I feel the magic, whole magic in that personal growth, and the whole magic in you opening your eyes to what is really happening is in that letting go. Oh my god, I haven't even noticed what's happening to my hair. Is in letting something go here. Yeah, there's the Six of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. So I feel for a lot of you, when it comes to like this love and this like security, stability and commitment, most of all, I feel like, you know, a lot of you have it long time coming. Like, you know, you deserve it, you deserve it. Yeah, oh my god, as I'm saying it, justice is showing as well. So you deserve it, honey. Yeah, 10 of Wands. So this is like the end of these difficulties, and these difficulties are ending because you're making a different choice. You're turning your back towards that new direction. Yeah, there's a Devil showing as well. So something that might have been having a hold on you. And yeah, there's a lot of Knights, Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups showing as well with this with the Devil. So I feel like, you know, there is some kind of energy that has been inconsistent, that has been floaty, coming and going, that has been keeping you stuck, that has been keeping your life on pause. So this message is for those of you, like, you know, who genuinely kind of need to let go, and that's for your own good. That's for your own sanity. Don't worry so much about the other person, because I feel like, you know, you might have been putting somebody here on a pedestal, and you're dealing with somebody who is masking very well, or somebody who doesn't deal with problems head on. They just hide away from them, and that's why it's taking them longer. But it isn't your problem, because you've got your own path, you've got your own life to live, and don't let somebody else's insecurities and immaturity to stop you from achieving what you want and from experiencing everything that you want in this lifetime. Okay, I hope that helps. Love you. Bye.